or feature of bloat on the can, it should tell you that the airtight seal that has been placed on it has been tempered with in a way, and so it's no more just what you have in the can, but there's some leeway for some microorganisms to begin to grow and lead to decay and all kinds of other hazards, biological hazards to the product. Again, if the tin is not bloated, but it's dented on the side, as a result of perhaps poor handling of the product and all. What happens is that there's an enamel coating in the inner side of the tin. And when there are signs of dents, it's an indication that the inner lining has also been broken. And so there is the tendency for the very contents of the product to be interacting with these chemical products or materials that have been used to line it. So you think you are just pouring the milk, but some other things are happening mixed with it. Yeah. Again, we need to be careful of the kinds of promotions that are being run during this Christmas time. So all the donkomis, all the big grand sales are happening. Some of the things may be close to expiration. I mean, as the discussions go on, we'll give you some tips from the FDA Santa Claus how to be able to make informed choices for yourself.
Very interesting. That's very well detailed. But
I know, right?
I'm still going to let you break it down a little bit for us, perhaps for better education for the lay people out there. What's the batch number? I personally don't know what the batch number is.
Okay, so you'll find the batch number also on the principal display area on the label. Okay. And normally it is written batch number. In fact, I just want to also say that if the label does not have anything English, if it's not in English, it's not rendered in English in any way, it's a sure sign that FDA has not approved the product, and you cannot be sure of what you are consuming. In any case, you can't even read what is on it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the batch number will be written.
But they've done tomatoes on it, and you can see that this is tomato paste, and maybe it's very affordable.
Assumption is the mother of all screw-ups, isn't it?
Okay, so that's something to look out for too, if the language is not in English.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but what did you say the batch number is?
So you find the batch number. It's a unique identifier from the manufacturer telling you that this batch, this from 000 that to this number is what has been manufactured at this given time and approved and all. So they come in a form of family. Products are churned out in that manner, and the batch number is that unique identifier.
I'll engage you soon, Dr. I just want to learn a few things from you.
No worries, I'm enjoying the conversation, so feel free.
A few things from you. And who determines the expiry date? Is it the manufacturer or FDA?
Yeah, sure. So there are good manufacturing practices that as part of the protocols in manufacturing consumables, and there are very strict industrial protocols or guidelines in doing this, and they go through a lot of experimental processes. So if the product is manufactured and is going to be sent to a temperate region, they subject the finished product to that kind of temperature and environment for a given time to be able to determine, sometimes a year or two or whatever, and then there are consistent monitoring and checks that are done all through with the quality management team to be able to tell exactly when the product begins to go bad. So this becomes the blueprint, as it were, for that particular. So if it's maybe baked beans or something, that test is done over a period of time. When we can this product, it takes that long to get into a place of expiry. And like I mentioned, what will be done to the consignment that is going to a temperate region will be different from what is done when it's going to a tropic environment. Yeah. So when that understanding or that study is conducted and it's established, it becomes the norm, and that actually becomes the scientifically proven information that we use to guide our regulatory activities. So when these items are being registered. A lot of vetting and a lot of checks are done to ensure that the certificate of analysis, which includes this data, is all included. The sanitary reports and all, especially for grains and the rest, are all done to make sure they are intact. And those documentations follow these consignments to their destination countries for proper approvals to be done before they are received.
I still have more questions for the FDA,
Yeah, sure.
but I'll let you take a breather, Mrs. Apia. And then when we return from this short commercial break, Dr. Apia will help us understand, Dr. Ra will help us understand what you meant by wholesome products, we consuming wholesome products during this period. So guys, stay with us. We'll be right back.
6 years of explosive performances by the leader of the movement, a culture, a nation, Beam Nation. Burnetman Music presents the ultimate African Caribbean link-up, the Grand Arena, Friday, 23rd December, the 6th edition of the annual Beam concert with Stoneboy and the legendary Busy Signal. VIP tickets going now for 500 Ghana cedis and 200 Ghana cedis regular. Visit beamconcerts.com. Dial *365*2022 hash or call 0501-550-000 for VVIP table reservations. 23rd December, the Grand Arena, 7 p.m. prompt. Burnathon, Beam Nation to the world.
Can you come over? Right now, loneliness taking.
My name is Francisca Schroeder. Fobaska Enterprise is the name of my company. Fobaska deals with stationery items. The stationery business is a broad business and it will take a lot of money. There was not enough funds to run the business. When I was a student, I was banking with Barclays, now ABSA. My personal banker just called me one day. Fobaska, can we help you? I said, okay. He came to my shop. After checking my turnover, I was entitled for some money. I will encourage other entrepreneurs to join the ABSA Young African Works program so that they can get the training and benefit from the facility so that it will take them to the next level. ABSA, Aiku, ABSA, Medase, you've taken me to the next level.
Hello viewers, you are welcome to GH Schools, another admissions media school. We have 4 departments in there. We have journalism and media studies. We have journalism and media arts. We have television and film production, and then multimedia production. With our journalism and media studies, you offer TV presenting, radio presenting, news reporting, and media law. And then we add media marketing to it. The journalism and media department, you still offer the TV presenting, radio presenting, then you offer producing and professional acting. We also add event management to that course. And then we come to our technical area, and that is the television and film production. You offer digital video editing, camera operations and light, sound engineering, directing and script writing. And then we also have multimedia production, where you offer animations, graphic designing, and then digital video editing. What you are seeing on your screen is the digital TV studio, and then this is that TV studio. Then we also have radio studios. Let me introduce our cosmetology school to you. Our cosmetology school is top notch. You can offer beauty specialty, and our beauty specialty course is the full makeup course, and then you add nail technology to it, manicure, pedicure, facials, eye enhancement, etc. If you want to move on to do the beauty therapy course, that is 1.5 years, add body therapy and body massage to it. If you want to offer our full cosmetology combo course, then you do everything beauty therapy, everything beauty specialty, and you add hair technology to it. We have several workshops for our cosmetology school. We have our white room, we have our orange room, we have our red room, we have our green room massage. Let me move on to introduce our GH Fashion School to you. The GH Fashion School is the best fashion school currently in the country. When you come, our first semester will focus on specimen, and then we will focus on children's wear. Our second semester will focus on ladies' wear and men's wear. Our third semester will focus on traditional wear and occasional wear. And our fourth semester will focus on wedding gowns and suits. And we have several workshops. What you're seeing on your screens are the workshops we have for fashion, design, and technology. With our fashion school, we organize several programs so they can showcase the things they do. The next school that is making headway is our catering school. We have 5 subjects there. We have several levels in cookery. We have the first level where you treat the normal cuisines. Second level where you treat traditional cuisines. Third level where you treat foreign cuisines. And then we have our fourth level where we take you higher in cookery. Our next course, you learn baking, shawarma, you move on to pizzas. Our next course is cake. At the first level, you do the normal cupcakes. The second level, you move on to birthday cakes. The third level, you move on to wedding cakes. And then the fourth level is crafted cakes, where you design anything at all with the cake. Finally, I want to introduce our GH Technology School. We have 2 major courses there, computer systems, and then we have electronics. With computer systems, you learn about computer hardware, computer software, and computer networking. And then you do electronics. Our electronics, you focus on consumer electronics, mobile phone repairs, broadcast equipment repairs, and home appliance repairs. In our technology school, you have bonus subjects there like MCR operation, satellite dish installation, CCTV camera installation, and then home security. We are having instant admission. If you want to call us, you can call the numbers on your screen during working hours and we will gladly respond to your call. Our school is under Ghana Education Service, the Technical and Vocational Division. GH Fashion School is fully accredited by the Commission for TVET. Therefore, you don't need any qualification to be here because we have proficiency. Move on to certificate, move on. You can come to GH schools for your forms. You can also get your forms online. www.admissions.ghschools.online. One new thing that we have introduced is our GH Equiflex. The Equiflex is flexible way of acquiring equipment. So you finish with school, and if you are on the Equiflex, you get the startup that you want to start with. Our fees are very moderate, and the good thing is that you will have the luxury of paying it in installment. We have hostel facilities. You can locate GH schools at Achimota, Abofu. We are closer to the ICGC. GH schools train, practice, and achieve.
Welcome back to the show. It's the AM Club. I'm talking to Dr. Ira and Mrs. Apia from the FDA. We're discussing food safety during these times. Before we went for the break, I was asking Dr. Ira what MFI came to ask what food we should eat during this period. Now, we know that one product that circulates a lot during this period is poultry, and specifically chicken. Okay, so quick advice. Which would you prefer? The imported chickens that we have, frozen chicken, or should we make use of the chickens on the market, the fowls on the market that you go and buy it and they slaughter it for you, then you go home and prepare? Which is better?
I think they all have their pros and cons.
Okay, please help us.
Because,
decide.
I mean, it's up to you to decide in the end. But with the frozen one, once you can really guarantee that indeed has been frozen at a correct temperature, it's not spoiled chicken. You know, the preparation and everything was handled in a clean, safe, and healthy manner for you to consume. Then you have no problem. So if it's a trusted source, maybe a good, an abattoir or some good company that deals with frozen food that you can guarantee that indeed this is a good. I can get my food from here. It's safe, fine. It's wholesome for consumption. Then you can go ahead and get that. If not, you can also get the live one. Either you kill it yourself, or you let someone kill it for you. But I mean, just make sure that it's in a clean, it's done clean, it's appropriately done. That's all I'll say for now. But it's up to you to decide. I can't impose and say go and choose frozen chicken. No.
Get it on the market.
Because some people say that the other one is tougher than the other. Everybody has their what they want from their chicken, so it's up to you. But just make sure that it's done in a very clean manner. If it's frozen at appropriate temperature, you know, and how it's prepared and everything is done in a way that is wholesome for consumption so that you not fall sick afterwards. Because I don't want to spend my Christmas in the ER treating patients. I want to have a lovely Christmas.
Indeed. Mr. Pia, but when it comes to chicken products, like frozen chicken too, are they FDA certified?
Yes, please. Okay. Yeah, we license the cold rooms and the cold stores. So one observation we've made is that with the recent increase in electricity tariffs and all, some of these cold store operators will want to make some savings by putting off their freezers for some time and all. So once again, Santa in November had to pick up some people because there were complaints about some of them going bad. There were stories about people picking them from the shop. They bring it home just when it's thawed and they are ready to cut up. They realize it comes with a foul smell. There's discoloration and also just the day that FDA got there were lots of people that had already come there with complaints and as evidence. So obviously we needed to seize all those consignments and then ensure a safe disposal of them. So it's a problem, and I think Doctor will talk about some of the bacteria that you find in Listeria and Salmonella and all that, which are very harmful. They can cause food poisoning and really upset the tummy, diarrhea, and even possible death, I suppose. So we need to be careful in times like this. Make sure when you buy it, you don't leave it on the, in the kitchen for it to thaw before you send it back into the freezer. If you are not ready to process it, you just put it back in the freezer so it remains at the, you keep the cold chain intact. And if you have to use it, make sure you thaw it well and then you cook it properly under the right temperature so every aspect of it is well cooked and it's free from any bacteria. As a matter of fact, there are some bacteria that may not even be taken care of when you apply heat to the food, especially when there are toxins that have been introduced to the product. They are rendered thermostable, and so they don't even die when you process them with heat. So it's important we keep our poultry product and all the other meat products intact, even eggs. We should keep them safe. If you are a seller, don't allow everybody to be touching and picking the bigger ones, that kind of thing we do. It's so much of an unsafe
What happens
practice.
when people
you are introducing doctor with your own bacteria. And they keep choosing and you don't expose them to you don't expose your eggs.
The big ones. So who should eat the small ones?
So we are asking the sellers to take charge, and they should clean them up. Some come with all manner of deaths on them. And
you can see the chicken feathers.
And all that.
I put them eggs. I've put it down for some time. I haven't touched it yet. I need to wash it.
No. Okay. So from the manufacturer, they do clean. But when you have to...
the things you're talking about.
Use sandpaper or something to clean it
up. And then refrigerate it.
Exactly. Okay. Ideally, it should be in the fridge.
Don't leave it open.
Oh, it can go bad?
Yeah, it could go in 30 days after laying the eggs. It's not going bad.
Okay. Okay.
And there are ways you store them. You put the tip, the little, every egg has a wider and a narrow edge. So you put the narrow side down and then the rounded part up.
That would mean that you're putting it in a crated...
it should be in a crate.
What if you don't have that? Because I put it in a container.
In a bowl. Then you store it in the fridge.
Yes, then it's fine.
That's okay.
Okay. And what other products out there should we be mindful of?
Besides chicken.
Meat
as well. And even milk. It should be pasteurized, not unpasteurized milk. And then our raw food.
I see it written on the box, but what does it mean?
Pasteurized, it has been like kind of boiled
or...
You've taken out the
bacteria
out because you've heated it at appropriate temperature. So you have killed any bacteria that should be inside. Yes. So it's healthier milk. And then raw fruits and vegetables. Okay. You should be careful or mindful the type of salad you eat during the Christmas season.
I'm guilty.
Yes. Because when you go to parties, there's a whole buffet, so you get to choose.
On ice,
yes,
yeah.
You get to choose what you want to eat. So make sure that your vegetables are clean and they're not off. And then when you're cutting your meat, make sure you have a different chopping board. Don't use the same chopping board to cut meat. Use the same chopping board to cut your tomatoes. Yes. It should be different chopping boards. And always wash your chopping board after use with warm and soapy water.
Okay. Now, Mr. Pia, I bought a product some time ago, and it was FDA certified. Well, they've written FDA on it with some numbers. So you think that it was FDA, but something prompted me to call FDA and find out if this product is on your radar, and it wasn't. It wasn't. So I want to understand, how do I know that this is an FDA certified product, apart from, of course, the tips you gave us, the manufacturer date, the expiry date, the batch number. How do I know that this is not the manufacturer writing FDA and adding some numbers that I don't understand over there? Is the FDA thinking of, or does the FDA have perhaps, QR codes or stuff you can scan, and then you know that this is an FDA certified product?
Yeah. In fact, that is the next thing consumers can look out for. We are coming with a data glass, which you can access with with the scanner on your phone, to just be able to ascertain at the market before you buy. This has been something that we've been working on for some time. We're looking forward to having it launched sometime next year. So it's part of the big projection we have, because we cannot have people now calling to check whether it's
every time. Yeah.
It's so not it, and we are working towards that.
We look forward to it.
Yeah.
Dr. Ira, what are some of the challenges that a person is likely to face if we consume these products that are unwholesome on the market, like the eggs that haven't washed yet, and you probably go eat it, and the chicken we were talking
poultry,
about? What are the first aid remedies we can take without having to also come and disturb you at the hospital?
I know, right? Very, very important. So basically, when it comes to eating contaminated food or water, it can be caused by either bacteria, you can have viruses causing it, you can have parasites causing it, you can have chemical toxins causing it. With the bacterial aspect, like she mentioned a few, the Salmonella, the E. coli, Campylobacter, etc. So they tend to cause abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, and then diarrhea. In those cases, what you can do, especially with the diarrhea, if you don't have any ORS at home, you can prepare your own ORS. You can get a liter of water that is clean. So maybe, let's say, that 2 sachets of water or 2 bottles of water. They add 6 teaspoons of sugar in it.
6
teaspoons of sugar. And then
a teaspoon. What is the teaspoon? I think we always.
A teaspoon.
Is a
smaller
5
one.
ml.
Yeah, the 5 ml one. Yes.
Okay.
And then the half level of the teaspoon for the salt. They just mix it in and then just drink that. So,
sorry, again, 6 teaspoons of sugar.
So 1 liter of clean water, then 6 teaspoons of sugar, and then half a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
So you can mix that and drink. But if you have the ORS at home, you can prepare the ORS itself, the sachet. You just pour it in the bottled water and just drink it. And if you have coconut water available as well, if coconut juice available, you can also drink that as well. And if you have some zinc tablets, you can take that and then report to the nearest hospital, for further analysis, because we need to know the type of food that you have eaten. That will help guide us to know, this is what is causing, that is bacteria, that is causing the symptoms, that you have a fever and all those, and then we know exactly whether to add antibiotics to your management or not. And if it's the viruses, usually the norovirus, hepatitis A virus and all that, that's also from eating raw and uncooked food. So most of the time, people are not really patient when they're cooking. They're always in a hurry to finish preparing the food, you know. And here, we don't really use food thermometers, but outside we have food thermometers. So if you want to make sure your food is cooked, you can just put the food thermometer inside and check and say, my food is cooked and I can take it out and eat and all that. But we're always in a hurry to prepare our meals. We don't take time to clean them well and wash them well and prepare them. And we tend to eat a lot outside during this period. I always advise that if you have children 1 under 5, we shouldn't be letting them eat outside. If they have to go for a party, let them eat at home before they leave. So that, because their immune system is not as strong as with the adults, so you don't want them to take anything in and then later on they have to react to it. So we have to be very careful what we feed the children during this festive season, because they can also present with the same abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea and all that. And they tend to get dehydrated more easily than we, the adults. So we have to keep an eye on them during this period. And then you can get with the chemical toxins like our galamsey sites and all that, where there's mercury in the soil and all that, in the contaminating the water, if you take any fruits or vegetable from those waters, you can also have food poisoning. So we have to be very careful what we are eating, where we are getting our food from, where we are buying it from. Really make sure that it's from a very good source before you take it in. So I'm really happy that here, the FDA and Santa Claus is really moving around this time, because I'm sure a lot of people want to just sell things to make money during the festive season. So people will just be selling things without going through the appropriate checks. So let's be careful where we get our food from.
On the back of what you just said, you come back to tell us other remedies we can employ apart from the ORS
and then the zinc tab.
You know, and even for the kids, what we can give them immediately before we bring them to the hospital.
You give them the same thing.
The same stuff,
yeah,
ORS.
The ORS and the zinc
My kids
tablets.
can take something like Imodium. Or
no, we don't give them. No, we don't give them Imodium. But with the adults, you can take it, yes.
For the meantime, and you tell us the difference between food poisoning, because anytime we are running, we have diarrhea and we are vomiting, we say we have food poisoning. We don't know if that is the case, if it really is food poisoning. But with what you said, be careful of where you're getting your product.
Yes.
Would you therefore advise, because now you have the local market, like where Santa Claus is moving, FDA Santa Claus is moving around and inspecting, and then you have the shops, the marts, where you know that at least these ones are guaranteed, quote and unquote. They've done their inspection, they bring it from trusted sources. Would you, I mean, I guess it depends on which part of the economy you're functioning, you know.
Either you go to the market or the mall.
So should we, I mean, for those who can afford, should we look more at the malls and the marts for these products?
Well, I mean, you can still go to the mall and still have products that are not being sold. You're not having products that are being they're unwholesome and they're being sold. You get it? So it cuts across, whether at the market or. So I hope that Santa Claus is not only staying at the market, it's going to those malls as well, because usually when they're about to expire, their products are about to expire, they start to reduce the prices quickly. You know, you have a huge discount, like 8% off or something. So those should be some red flags. That should make you know that, okay, let me just look at the container or this can, let me check the date and make sure that indeed it's not yet about to expire. Just check the best before and then the expiration dates before you purchase the product.
From there, okay. So, and then you said with the viruses infected foods, we could still take the ORS. And
yes,
then
you can still take the ORS.
For adults?
For adults too, yes, and adults and children.
Okay.
Yes.
And then
the only difference is the antibiotics. If you think it's a bacterial thing, then we give the antibiotics. That is simple flagyl, but it depends on your symptoms and then the duration of your incubation period. So when you start showing those symptoms, because every organism and when you present to show, or when you start to show the signs, some will just begin within 30 minutes, others take a day, others take 2 days. So we'll take the history, and that guides us to know exactly what the cause of your problem is. Either it's a bacteria that's causing it, or the parasite that's causing it, or the virus that's causing it.
Okay.
You get it.
Mrs. And perhaps a few more minutes to go. So yesterday was it yesterday or 2 days ago, I was in one of the malls, one of the shops, and I saw a client and the brand fighting and arguing. Now, when I go out there to buy a product, I know that with most of these shops and malls, when you buy a product and, for instance, maybe you didn't check the expiry date and you buy it and you take it and you want to return it, you come back with a receipt. If you don't have the receipt, you will not take back the product. Okay. In the case where you're taking the product home, you didn't check, you open it and you realize that there's a problem. You can't return it. Can you return it? You can't return it. Or can you return it? And then what are some of the remedies you can seek, you know, perhaps for a refund or to deal with whoever is selling the product that is not supposed to be selling it?
Okay. So I think you're talking about trade issues and also safety issues. So when it comes to trade, I think there's a good reason why they want to see the receipt, so that they are sure that indeed you purchased the item from there.
Okay.
Now, there are other ramifications here. They may want to excuse themselves from any blame because when you opened it, they weren't there and they are not sure you are the one that has tampered with the contents and all that. But then that's why the Food and Drugs Authority is there. You can report or file a complaint with us at the Client Service Unit, which is the very front office where we are, either in Accra or any of our regional offices. There is a form you complete, and then you submit the sample for further laboratory testing to be done. There are some of the complaints that are very useful because then they serve as a lead for us to be able to do further investigation. Mind you, we work with law enforcement agencies, we work with the CID and all. So there have been times that just by coming to reports to FDA, you give us a lead because we work with a lot of intelligence. And most of the time, we have realized that as a result of poor handling and storage of these things, they are exposed to all manner of things. So for instance, there was a time that a client came in with a complaint that one of the packed drinks, when he opened it, there was a cockroach. I think when he poured it, there was some cockroach or something in it. So we got alarmed. We had to now visit the shop. We had to now follow through all the supply chain, and then we realized that the warehouse where they pick the bigger consignments and all has very poor storage arrangements. They don't fumigate. There were no records of fumigation and all. So this thing didn't just happen at the manufacturer's place, but apparently as a result of poor storage and all, some of these rodents have already started tampering with the packaging and finding their way here and there. So you need to report simply because you want to be a hero. You may be saving other lives. If you have to dispose them of because maybe you don't, the shop wouldn't take them, then you bring them to FDA. We actually would not want you to just let some of these things slip by. If you are buying a drink and there's a fly and that some slimy substance in the, you should be able to report. It's very, very important. So we won't advocate for you to send it away or just let it be. But you asked a second question. That what do you do, which I've answered.
Yes, yeah.
And
who do you report to? You said you
yeah,
can come
so
to the
Food
FDA
and Drugs Authority. You can also call.
Okay, you don't have to come all the way.
Sometimes you don't have to call, but you don't have to come all the way, but you can just call our hotlines 055-111-2224 or 055-111-2225.
Will FDA pick it?
Yes, we have dedicated staff. You can try it right now. I think your cameraman can try it. We have dedicated 055. This is on the spot.
I know, right?
Yes.
055-111-2224.
Yeah. Just to assure our viewers that FDA will be there.
Hey. Oh no!
Oh no!
No, the number is probably wrong.
Maybe it's a wrong number.
Maybe we'll get the numbers right.
Okay, well, get the
numbers right. And then social media handles where
yes,
we can
well,
also
social media handles are
get
also there. We have our staff that interact with people with their comments and issues. We also want to use this platform to educate the public. Around this time, all kinds of stories are put out there on social media. I mean, fake plastic rice, plastic fish, all kinds of assertions. As far as, I mean, science will prove that plastic cannot absorb water and get cooked. I mean, if you expose it to fire, it will melt and not absorb water and all. Plastic fish is all. We need to be careful because sometimes they come as a way of maligning other competitors and all. But then, if you are in doubt, that's why you need to contact the FDA and, of course, other scientists to share their thoughts on some of these things. We also want to say that if you have to eat out, as Doc has mentioned, then you don't just have to eat anywhere. The issues have been licensed. If you go to any restaurant, since you will be at the dining area and not at the kitchen, the FDA takes the trouble to visit their kitchen and inspect the facility on a very regular basis. So the issues about how they store their their ingredients, dry and wet ones, how they keep the environment clean and all, has been taken care of. So yours is to look out for the FDA food hygiene permit. It's supposed to be at a principal display area at the restaurant. If you are not finding, ask the waiter to show you. Because it's the only thing to give you comfort that you are not going to carry some sickness away from there. We are now even introducing the street food vendors permits. So we are not just interested in those who are eating in the restaurants and other food establishments, but also interested in the cocoa and the white Chisela, the check joints in your neighborhood. We want to make sure that they also have these permits. It's not about money at all because it just costs 5 cedis to get the form and fill. Ours is to ensure that you are healthy, you are strong, and we provide a healthy workforce for the nation. The Uber foods and those that we order because we don't want to go out there. Well, you say, I can't see that place because I'm not going there. So we have actually certified these businesses, food establishments, and given the database to them to deal with only them. And we do periodic checks to ensure that they are not putting in restaurants and businesses that have not been properly registered. If we find them, we have a way of dealing with them, which you normally hear about. So FDA is a very friendly institution, but we have a way of dealing with recalcitrant people.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Apia. Very well said. Thank you so much. Very detailed as well. You help us with the details again in terms of how to contact the FDA, so even on social media as well. Dr. Ra, final words?
Well, my final words to everybody out there during the festive season is that in as much as you'll be drinking and eating a lot during this festive season or this period, make sure you're eating wholesome food, food that has not expired, food that is healthy. She mentioned earlier about all the, look at the labeling and everything. If it's not FDA approved, please do not take it, don't consume it. Try not to eat too much from outside, especially if you have younger children than the 5s. Let them eat at home before you take them out. And eat healthily. You know, this is the time you need to be boosting your immune system because we're entering the Hamatan season. So you should be eating more of your fruits, your citrus fruits, your pineapple and oranges, less alcohol and drink more water during this season. That's what I'll say for now.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas in advance as well.
Yes, indeed. Merry Christmas to you too. Mr. Pia, what's FDA?
So you can follow us on any of the social media platforms. For Facebook and Twitter, you can follow us on FDA Ghana. For Instagram, it's FDA Ghana _. Our hotlines are there. Our website is there. You can visit our offices. You can look out for us. We were in schools before they went on vacation.
Right.
And for the students, the children, when they see us, they are happy. The next generation of people see FD as a very friendly institution and a partner. We are a trusted partner, and we want to ensure that this nation does well. In the coming year, we will see a lot of promotions about Buy Ghana, Love Ghana, a lot of initiatives to support the local industry. I suppose some people have heard about the progressive licensing scheme, that we are not just going after the big manufacturers, but the little shuttle person, even if you are doing it in your kitchen. We are interested in it, and we want to support your business. We'll work with you. It's progressive. We give you a color-coded certificate. You are pink today. We give you a year to upgrade yourself. We give you a yellow or an amber, and then a green, and then we believe you are big enough to go. And because businesses, all these supermarkets require the FDA registration before they can display your wares, and we don't want the Ghanaian businesses to be left out at all. So approach us, just come over. We'll introduce you to the progressive licensing scheme. We'll follow your product to the market through the other initiatives. And let's look forward to an exciting year with FDA.
Our friendly agency, the FDA. I think you're doing a good job. And good morning to Madame Denise Daku. Thank you very much. Dr. Ira Ajwa-Nunu, Medical Officer in charge at the Douala Medical Center and Bema Camp, and Mrs. Rhoda Apia, Head of Communications and Public Education Department at the FDA. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us as well.
That conversation is done. We hope you've taken a thing or two from it. Up next, Ms. Drew is standing by to tell us how to plan a good trip this Christmas. Stay.